All right, Hillary. So day 2, session 2 with, I think this is Tehya here. I'm still trying to get their name straight. Anyway, um, so yesterday I only got one of these micro sessions in. I was hoping to get more in the evening, but after dinner and everything, it was already dark. So I said, screw it, we'll just go on to tomorrow. Um, so I'm already seeing a little bit better out of both of these guys. I think just being here 24 hours now, they're starting to settle in a little bit, which is great and to be expected. So I'm hoping that um, he thinks through things a little bit better and has a little bit better focus and response to the questions that I'm asking him today. So let's get started. Just like yesterday, I'm going to start with a very clear cue. So I'm going to point to the left because he's set up to go, he or she, I never remember, I think she. Uh, she's set up to go to the right, so I'm going to send her to the left. Remember, like we talked about balance, always doing the opposite. So I'm going to point. Ooh, she caught that point today much better than yesterday. Perfect. She rolled through. Now she didn't keep going, so ask her to keep going. There. That was light years better than yesterday. So it may be that she already knows more than what it seemed like yesterday. Um, she may have just been a little bit crazed out that, brand new place, new people, new everything. Which is totally understandable. This is much better. Okay, I'm going to go and ask her to stop. A little bit better. I would like her to face up and bring that hind end through, but not too bad. Send her to the right. She's thinking. I'm going to give her a lot of time here, being real patient here. She's thinking. She knows she needs to do something. This is good. She's trying to set herself up to go. And she chose to turn around the wrong way, so lots of pressure. So there's another make the wrong thing hard. We had already one make the right thing easy and one make the wrong thing hard. Okay, I'm going to ask her to stop. Ooh, now that's the first time that she's been straight on to me. That's really cool right there. Now she's shaking a lot. I know oh, and there's a lick and a chew. Beautiful. So, this happens a lot when you finally get a horse focused on you and responsive and realizing that they need to be able to go left or go right, whichever you need. They do tend to get a little more anxious at the beginning because they realize, what do I need to do? They're sensitized. And that's good. We're going to desensitize her later. Again, balance, right? We want them sensitive, but also desensitized. Sensitive to the things that we want them to be sensitized to, desensitized to everything else in the world. So we have to have that balance. And that means sometimes they're going to be way overboard sensitized. Sometimes they're going to be way overboard desensitized. And eventually they'll be right where we want them in the middle. But that was the first time that when I asked her to stop, she faced up, got straight onto me, and was ready to go either direction. So that's a huge step right there. Now I just walked out here in the middle. I didn't actually ask her to do anything. So I might go ahead and make this a kind of a desensitizing spot. Good. So when she came to a stop and looked at me, I backed off the pressure just a little bit. So I'm teaching her now that me walking up to her doesn't always mean to run. It only means to run away if I give her the cue to go somewhere. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to give her that cue to go somewhere. She's set up to go to the left. I'm going to go ahead and send her to the right. Remember, she was facing me, right? If she had stayed facing me when I walked up here to the center, it would have been very easy for her to go to the right. But she chose to walk off and go places and do things, and she got herself unset up for whichever way I wanted her to go, and so now it's going to be more difficult. Now she's thinking, she knows she's not supposed to turn her butt to me, but she has to anyway. Okay, more pressure. Okay, I'm going to ask her to stop. She didn't catch that stop that time. Good, and she rolled through. I actually really like the way she rolled through right there. What I liked about it, should be right where the video can see it. You might rewind it and watch. I like that she lifted her front feet, took the weight off of her front end, and swung her front end through. That tells me that she's naturally going to be fairly decent at weighting her hind end, which everything we're doing with the horse, we want them to weight their hind end and get their weight off the front end, lift their shoulders. So that's good. Okay, she didn't really roll through. I'm gonna go ahead and send her to the right. This is kind of her hard direction. She doesn't like to yield this side. She's choosing to go forward. There, she rolled through. Good. I don't know if the camera caught that one quite as good, but I really like the way she moved through that turn. And I also like that she learned not to turn her butt to me. She didn't quite know how to roll back and go the other direction immediately. She tried forward a lot, but she's trying new things. And as long as the horse is trying new things and trying to learn, I can mold where we take that. What I can't really work with is when a horse just locks into one idea and doesn't want to change. As long as the horse is trying new ideas, even if they're the wrong ones, I can work with that. Okay, I'm asking her to stop. And she faced up. Very good. Now, it's not perfect, right? She over-faced up, and I could tweak that. I could really work on it. But what I have to remember is this is the second session. There's a lick and a chew. This is only the second session, right? This is a marked improvement from the first session. And so I don't want to keep tweaking, because what I'll end up doing is telling her that, hey, what you tried wasn't right. And what I want to tell her is, hey, what you tried was correct. Maybe it wasn't perfect. We can tweak it later, but you're going in the right direction. Try more of that. And that's kind of what I just told her right there. I'm going to go ahead and be done with her for this session. Like I say, these are micro sessions. I'll try to get in here at least 2 more times today, maybe 3 more times, for a total of 4. And we just try to keep solidifying that that's the correct answer. So, all right, see you at the next pen. All right, so this is day 2, session 2, if I can get to where I can see the camera. This morning I worked with Tehya down there, but I didn't get a chance to work with Braveheart this morning. So this is yesterday, did about 15 minutes with him, and again started today. So I like how he's engaging with me here, but I'm gonna go ahead and send him off to groundwork, make sure that works before we get started. Like, see how he's kind of shouldering off to me here and kind of putting me in his comfort zone. So I'm gonna go ahead and send him to the left here. Make sure I don't get kicked there. That wasn't the best setup or send off, but things happen. All right, ask him to stop. Good. He kind of was thinking about running over me there, I think. I stood my ground and he didn't turn his back to me, he turned. Okay, I'm gonna ask him to stop again. And ask him to go the other way. Pretty big there because he turned his butt to me. Ask him to stop and send him the other way. Better. That didn't feel nearly so much like he was going to run over the top of me. Felt much more like he was thinking through what needed to happen right there. That turn, this turn coming up right here is still not very good. So, all right, I'm going to ask him to stop and go the other direction. Better. This is better. He's thinking. Giving him an opportunity, and he chose correctly, so there's no pressure. Beautiful. And a little close for comfort right there. I'd stab on there a little bit more. So I just put a little pressure on him. See, he's kind of running the show right now, or not right completely right now, but right there. So what happened there was he said, I think I'm ready to stop. I was like, well, I don't think you are. I asked you to go. So since I asked you to go, you probably should keep going. But he kind of thought he ran the show there and was just going to stop on his own. Now I'm going to ask him to stop. He didn't stop, so now I send him the other direction. Better. So this is just kind of where we get to know each other and horse is always going to think it's in charge when you start out, and you got to kind of take charge. I'm going to ask him to stop here. He didn't stop, so I'm going to send him the opposite direction. See, I feel like I'm just getting a lot of kind of just, yeah, you don't really matter. Like, he's not really scared of me exactly. Like, Tehya's, I think, a little bit more fear. But he's just more like, yeah, you don't really matter. I know you're over there, but I'm running the show. And so, we're going to get rid of that. I don't want him to be scared of me either. That's not what I'm going for. But see, he's just kind of like, yeah, you don't matter. And then I wave the flag and he goes, oh, crap, you do matter. Ask him to stop. And ask him to go the other direction. Now, I like that he turned towards me there, but I got big with the flag because he was going to come way into my space and kind of think about running over the top of me. And I'm going to get very serious when they start thinking that. Better. See, that seemed much more respectful. It's much more over there. So I didn't feel a need to get big with the flag. He turned correctly. He didn't turn away from me. So make that very easy. Give him an opportunity to stop here. Oh, nice. That's the first time today that he stopped off my cue, not off me making him go the other direction. Now, he didn't face up, but hey, it's an improvement. Reward the try. That's one of the principles of horse training. Now, I don't mind that he faced up right there, but if he does anything else, like walk off to the left, I'm going to do the opposite, which is send him to the right. Now, he was already set up to go left, so it didn't work very well. He decided to turn away, and so he got more pressure. All I was going to do is just let him stand there until he looked and chewed, but he's like, can I please go back to work? I got to be very careful here not to get kicked. There. You can keep the pressure on without getting kicked. Ask him to stop. Better. That was the second time, the first time going this direction, the last time was the other direction, that he actually stopped off my cue before he ran into the fence and I had to cut him off the path and all that kind of stuff. That was better. Once again, I'm just going to wait for him to lick and chew, and then I'm going to walk away and probably be done with this mini session. My camera fell down, but good. There's a lick and a chew. I'm just going to walk away. Set my camera back up. This wind is really digging it. And I'm going to go ahead and be done with him for this mini session. Like I said yesterday, I only got one. Now I've gotten one mini session with both horses. I'd really like to get a couple more. I may not. It's already getting late. I may not have time. Before the day is over. All right, and here we are, day 2, session 3, actually, with Tehya. So this is the second session of day 2. I haven't really started asking anything yet, but you can see she's just running around me here. So you can see she has a lot more fear of me than Braveheart does. Now she's going left. I never asked her to do that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and ask her to go to the right. Oh, nice. I actually like that. She picked that up real easily. Very good. Okay, I'm going to ask her to stop. Okay, she slowed down. That's good. I'm going to ask her to go left. She's thinking, and there's the left turn. Good. She stopped on her own. I didn't ask her to stop, so I'm going to drive her forward. Okay, I'm going to ask her to stop. She didn't stop, so I'm going to send her to the right. She doesn't quite know what to make of that. And she gets through that turn. Good. Ask her to stop. Get it? Ask her to go the other direction. Nice. She's catching that real quick. She's pretty smart. This is good. Now she's slowing down a little bit, okay? Ask her to stop. She does. Good. Now she quartered on. Excellent. That's an improvement. Ask her to go right. Good. It was easier for her, right? Because she was already quartered on. She wasn't set up quite as poorly as before. Okay. Ask her to stop. And she gets all flustered, turns away from me, more pressure. No big deal. Just more pressure. Ask her to stop. Nope. Ask her to go right. Good. I love that she's thinking. It looks to me like Stephanie has done a good job of teaching these guys how to think, because it only takes a couple times to turn away from me, and then pretty quick they're like, wait, let me try something different. What? They don't just bolt and run like they actually stop and think, what do I need to do here to make this pressure go away? Alright, ask her to stop. You can see these movements are still real frantic and real jerky, and and I'm not saying anything bad about her. It's just to point out, in case whoever's watching this, because this is going to be public on YouTube, so more people than just Hillary will be watching. Just if you kind of analyze her body language right now, you can see her neck is like straight up in the air, her head's super high. She's very alert. She's done very few licks and chews. She's still trotting. There's really no reason to be trotting. Now she broke down to a walk. That's good. You see, she doesn't just walk. She either like breaks down to a walk and stops, gets stiff, or has to trot. This is better. So yeah, there's a lot of indicators from her body language that she's still very nervous, very flighty, but she's thinking, and that's the first step. Ask her to go to the right. She didn't really quarter on, or she turned away. So more pressure. No big deal. And you can see when she makes that wrong choice, and I have to put more pressure on. She doesn't really know how to accept that yet. She kind of gets, oh my gosh, Ask her to stop. She doesn't catch it. Good. She turned through correctly. So the process here is we have to get her understanding this game, this left-right stop game, and then the relaxation will start to come. There's really nothing I can do relaxation-wise until I get her focus, her respect, and she's following my lead. Horses are always looking for a leader, and she doesn't have a leader right now. She's kind of, she's been taken out of her natural herd from the Mustangs, and, even if Stephanie developed herself as a leader, well, Stephanie's not here anymore, so, this horse doesn't feel like it has a leader in the world, and I have to establish myself as its herd leader so that it starts to trust me, and then it'll actually relax. Better. Good. Once she figures out that she has control over this game in terms of whether there's pressure or not pressure, if she plays right, there's no pressure. If she plays wrong, there is pressure. She'll really start to relax then too, because she understands that she has to use some control in this. You can see Braveheart, we worked maybe half this amount of time, and he pretty much figured out the game. A few rounds, but he figured it out. This horse is much more scared, like I said, and that fear is keeping him fresh in the game. Even another thing you can see is that his neck is super braced against him. He has his head turned to the outside just slightly. Not so much that he got more near on me, but right before I said that, he did. That's another indicator that he's scared of me. He's blocking me out. And I've got to teach him that I've got the answers. He needs to watch me for answers and keep his distance, not block me out and then run over me when he gets too scared to do anything else. Ask him to stop. A little bit better. He actually stopped there, so he gets a little bit of a rest. And I'm going to ask him to go to the right. He's thinking about it. Do the right thing. Roll through. Good. There's a liquid chew. See how he got through everything? He made the right choice. He got the release of pressure, or the no pressure, and then he had a liquid chew. He's like, oh, this is a game that I can figure out. And now right there is the first time he's actually going to move his head at all. It's just to sniff the poop, but still, for him to relax even just enough for him to lower his head once and sniff that poop is a moment that his head's not straight up in the air looking for predators. Because remember, the reason they put their head up in the air is it gets their eyes as high as possible so they can see out across the prairie and see predators coming. So anytime he puts his head down, it's showing a bit of relaxation, a bit of, okay, I don't need to watch for predators necessarily 24 hours a day. There, I put a little pressure because it kind of felt like he was slowing down a bit and cocking that hind end into me a little bit, which is it's very disrespectful, but it's also a very provocative kind of a attitude, like, hey, I'm going to kick you, I'm in charge here, I don't have to move off of what you tell me to do, I'm just going to kick you. And, I'm going to wave this flag and say, no, that's not what you're going to do. I'm in charge. And you're gonna, first off, you're not gonna kick me, and second, you're gonna move off when I do. Alright, I was gonna ask him to stop there for a second, but he kind of stopped on his own. Now I'm gonna ask him to stop. Okay, he didn't roll through at all, so I'm gonna go and ask him to go to the right. Lots of pressure, just keep moving away. It seems monotonous to me, so I'm sure it seems monotonous to you watching it. But in the grand scheme of things, if I can get him to learn to learn, and get him relaxed to this, and have him learn how to be relaxed, this is nothing in terms of time. If I can get him there, it's a time of, being anxious and scared and what to do. It doesn't help that the wind is blowing a gale, but it's alright. Opportunity to turn in there, but then he didn't take it. Different. I'm going to end the session right there. This is why I love these mini sessions, because he finally makes a choice right there. He said, okay, nothing I'm doing is working. Why don't I try something different? And he tried it, and now the session's done, and he's going to spend the next, hour, however long, until I do my next session. He's going to spend it thinking about that, going, what exactly did I do that got that stupid predator to leave my pen? And what it was facing up, being focused, being ready to go the next direction. So, alright, till next time. Alright, so this is the second session of the day with Braveheart. It's just been about 15 minutes since I did the last session, so I literally worked him about 15 minutes. minutes, went down and worked Tehya, and then coming right back and finishing. I think I'm only going to do 2 sessions in a day. It's just the wind's blowing a gale out here. It's kind of nasty and miserable and making them worked up. But I worked Tehya twice today. I think Brea so I was going to work him twice today as well. So same thing. Until this gets good, it's going to be the same thing. So he set up to go right, I'm going to set him left. You know the drill by now. He's blocking me out. He chooses to go the wrong way. He's pressure. Getting to be kind of old hat by now. Ask him to stop. He doesn't. Send him the opposite direction. When he turns in like that, I really don't want to use a lot of pressure there, but I will to keep him from running over the top of me. I'm pretty sure this horse would if he wanted to. There. Better. So this horse, he's starting to kind of get it. He's kind of understanding the game here a little bit better now. Right? He's understanding that when I do that cue, that stop cue, he needs to shut it down, stop, get ready to go the other way. He's not really understanding to face up and do all the cool things yet. But, you know, you can compare and contrast to Tehya, who's still, it's not that she doesn't really know what to do, she's just so scared that her brain is not really engaged. She's blocking me out and just running away in her mind. This horse is not that scared. I'm going to go ahead and send him to the right again because he's set up to go left. He chooses to go on forward. And he releases to That's why it's super important to do this in a pen like this, where they can't end up getting away from you. Because you saw there, I'm not going to just charge in this horse and get kicked. I mean, he's a pretty big horse. I'm not going to get kicked, stomped, anything like that. But I can yield ground and move around this pen, but keep the pressure on at the same time so that he doesn't get away from the pressure until he goes where I want to go, but I still stay safe. Better. So he's still only going the new direction when he notices that I'm cueing the new direction. He's not really catching the stop and saying, oh, the stop means I'm about to go the other way, let me get ready. But that's okay, you know, just third session. Ask him to stop. Ask him to go the next direction. Better. State. I think I mentioned this yesterday. He's in there facing you, they're looking at you, they're focused. If I point either right, he's ready, he's tuned up, he's focused. But he's relaxed, right? It's all an unstable state that's why it's unstable. He's going to resolve the state from that unstable state, I want to resolve to relaxation. Right? That's ideal. But he could resolve it to a lot of different states, right? He could start walking around the pen. He could, whinny at other horses. He could sniff the ground and start eating poop off the ground or something. You know, there's a lot of different things he could do besides what we want, which is the relaxation. And but when he resolves it to relaxation, you can see there, look how calm he is now. Still standing in that same spot. I'm not even in the pen anymore. He's still standing in the same spot as when I left him, just licking and chewing, blinking. You can tell the gears are turning in his brain about what just happened. And that's exactly what we want. That was a really good ending for the day. He's still licking and chewing. That's how you get a horse to be calm in the pen all the time. I guarantee you he's going to sleep better tonight because we got him in this calm state. All right, we'll sign off there, and we'll be back tomorrow.